So as I mentioned earlier this morning, we've already had the great opportunity to do this once in Tokyo under the leadership of Mr. Nishino. And I thought we'd begin this by just showing a very quick film so people can get the feeling of what it looked like back then.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to Dementia Forum X Japan.
It gives me great pleasure to be able to give the opening speech at the first International Dementia Forum X and to welcome you all today.
I assume everybody reads Japanese, so you understood that sometimes.
I think so, yes.
Nishino, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and perhaps why you decided to do this project together with us?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much to invite this occasion again. And actually, my relationship in Sweden is very long. I have studied in Göteborg in my student time. Since that, I have a lot to learn from Sweden, and I very much realized that almost over the 1,000 visitors to Sweden from medical and aged care to learning something from the Sweden. But as long as after the reporting, nothing happened. So I'm very upset that we should exercise something and practice which we learn from Sweden. And I found Her Majesty's lead and set up the Silvia Foundation, and I have approached about maybe 15 years ago to get the permission to bring to the program of the Silvia Hemet. That was the start to relationships between the Silvia Hemet, and then we founded a new company, so-called the Swedish Care-ish, the company in Japan. And since that we have been very successful, over the 10,000 people who has been educated for the program. And also, of course, I have invited this occasion 5 years ago. And I thought that maybe this is good to know. Japan should know this kind of the activities in here. And we are very good lucky that King and Her Majesty to come to Tokyo, which is 150 years of diplomatic relation last year. But problem is that we never know Her Majesty is available for the event or not. That always happens. So we only know 2 months before. So we are no sleep and no drinking, aquavit, and we did this event and as a volunteer work. So that has been happening.
As it was very impressive. 2 months is a very short time. I always say about this meeting, it's 1 year to prepare before and then 1 year to rest after. So kudos for that. Now, Sam Jeon from South Korea, you haven't done your first Dementia Forum X yet, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to start working on that tomorrow. Tomorrow. But tell us a little bit about yourself and your reasons for getting into this line of work and this focus, and also, of course, why you want to bring this project to South Korea.
Okay. Briefly, I just want to share my personal experience with you. It was 5 to 6 years ago. I went through pre-MCI stage, if I name it, and it happened to me all of a sudden, and I don't remember how and when. And I went through kind of symptom. What happened to me was I couldn't remember anything like that, any information and any happenings to me. It's, for example, if I watched a movie, right after the movie, getting out of the theater, I couldn't remember anything like, main characters and stories and backgrounds and so on and so forth. It was really, terrifying and embarrassing an experience. I don't think, people who never experienced it before understand what I'm saying, but it was really, really scary experience. So what happened to me was that I didn't have enough access to information because I didn't know about finger then, multiple intervention or something. So I was at a loss, but luckily I was kind of person who do not give up. As a head of family, I decided to collect as much as possible to overcome my symptoms. So Googling and getting on the internet, and then fortunately there were very, very, very good news, which is called brain plasticity. Okay, with the help of the brain plasticity, I did everything, and 1 or 2 years later, I felt like I was recovering, and I kept going on it. And then now I can say my memory is as strong and fresh as when I was 21 years old. Okay? That happened to me. It's really, gospel, right? Good news. So I really wanted to share this experience and good news with as many people as possible, especially with people who are suffering from dementia. That's why we have decided to set up all-brain research company, which is specializing in dementia prevention program research and development. So we are working on a kind of project in collaboration with Korean government. So we want to bring more to about Dementia Forum X or something like advanced knowledge and information to Korea.
It's fantastic. I was saying to the distinguished participant from the Japanese government earlier today that they have to watch out because the South Korean government is doing a lot in this space right now. So there's a bit of a competition here. But that's very good. We need competition in this space.
We're a good part. No worries.
Silvia, Nishino, we have some themes here today: innovation, finance, women's brain health. And is this something that you're going to pick up in the next Dementia Forum X in Tokyo?
Yes, as long as, of course, Japan has been already almost 5 million patients of dementia. 5 million is not a small number, of course. And we focus in 2025 over the 7 million. It's huge, huge number and facing to. So, of course, we definitely need something. And we have to be separate that what to be now or what can be now, can be in the future. Because dementia disease is too long to take care. So we don't know that the more long life and the more facing to the suffer for the life. So we never experienced such a huge volume of the society. So I believe that it could happen for next year. We should have, of course, those issues. But at the same time, we are now getting to the digital age. And as we discussed in the morning, that there are several opportunities how to use the digital world. And actually, I'm founder of the Digital Business Innovation Center of Japan. So we are gathering major Japanese company, about 34 companies and workers, like 500,000 people. And those 5 million people has a lot of issues for their parents and grandparents. So workers is getting more involved on those issues too. So technology can be done, but the problem is that the technology people cannot understand what can be happening in the future. So we have to need to share this kind of forum to get more involved technology people in the next time.
Perfect.
And luckily we have our government for the Ministry of Industry, so he will help. Yeah, he using our tax to come here. Yeah.
Okay, too political now. That's internal. No, I'm joking. And Sam, to end here, what about from your perspective? What are some things that you want to lift in the Korean version, and what are key takeaways that you want to achieve?
A good question. I think I was really impressed by a lot of presentations today. When I received stage contributors list, what I was amazed at the list was that 51.7% out of stage contributors today are female. right? So I just want to, I just want women to be more involved in this dementia care matters in South Korea. And as with Her Majestic Queen Silvia did, the same goes for South Korea. Our First Lady Kim Jong-soo, Mrs. Kim Jong-soo, she is really interested in dementia, and she went to dementia care centers. We have 256 dementia care centers nationwide, which is a really big number. And she went to one of them, and then she took kind of a training course, and she became partner dementia caregiver. And then she's really interested in it. And looking at that, people are more aware of dementia, which is really influential.
So we have to invite her to the Dementia Forum X.
Yes, please.
Well, I do appreciate the irony of an all-male panel directly after an all-female panel, especially on this topic. But in my defense, I am replacing a woman today, so that's wouldn't. Well, I would like to end this by saying we are delighted to be able to welcome all of you to participate in Tokyo in the fall.
Particularly Olympics, yes.
Hopefully close to the Olympics, so that's a good excuse to go to the Olympics. And in South Korea, probably in May of 2020.
That's right.
So we hope to see all of you there, and we are very excited by this, because just on an end note, what Dr. Kistel from the WHO was saying this morning of the importance of broadening the audience for these conversations, that's exactly what we want to do, by moving this project to other countries, making it larger, more approachable, and we're welcome. We're open to speaking to any of you who would like to do this in your countries as well, because that's our end goal. So thank you very much, Nishino, Sam, for being here and for being our partners in this.
Thank you.
Thank you.